Merkel disks are one of the major types of sensory receptors found in the fingertips and the superficial skin layers. In this scene, I'll give you my visual mnemonic for Merkel disks to help you deal with the pressure. Did we mention that pressure is one of the things detected by Merkel disks? Sorry. I'll try to keep the puns to a minimum, I promise. First, check out this marker in my hand. I figured I'd try my hand at art in case medical school doesn't work out. But man, drawing with a marker is hard. This marker is here to remind you of Merkel disks. Marker for Merkel. Get it? When you hear Merkel disk, let your brain picture this marker, and you'll be able to draw out the key points. Okay, enough with the puns. Let's dive back into the studio. Notice how I'm holding this marker carefully with my fingertips. We were always taught to hold markers with our fingertips in art class. It gives you extra control. The way that I'm holding my marker here should remind you of where Merkel disks are located, in the fingertips. More specifically, they're found in the superficial skin layers, like the stratum basale at the bottom of the epidermis and in the papillary dermis. So the marker is in my fingertips, just like Merkel disks are. Alright, you know how ink flows out when you press down with the marker? Yeah, this marker ink is released in response to pressure. This kind of reminds me of how Merkel disks work. You see, pressing down on Merkel disks caused them to release vesicles filled with neuropeptides, kind of like releasing ink. Those neuropeptides trigger nearby receptors, creating action potentials. Oh man, the pressure's really getting to me today. I've been pressing down really hard on this canvas. I mean, just look at the creases in the canvas. By the way, these creases formed by my pressing down too hard should help you remember that Merkel's disks sense pressure because I'm really laying on the pressure here, right? So, I know what you're asking. What exactly am I drawing here? Hey, I'm still learning, all right? This drawing is just a rough outline. But hold on. I want you to focus on the edges and the shapes in this outline. When you're first learning how to draw, the most important thing is to first set down big edges and shapes correctly. Coincidentally, these edges and shapes help me remember that Merkel disks are responsible for discerning the edges and shapes of objects. Pretty clever analogy, right? Anyhow, their superficial location means that Merkel disks are really good for detecting corners and textures, like the grainy feel of sandpaper or the smooth edge of the table you're sitting at right now. Just remember my outline here and you'll have these senses down. All right. I'm not exactly freehanding here. Since I'm still learning, my teacher thought I could use some help. See this grid drawn onto my canvas? Yep, just like using graph paper. This grid helps me figure out exactly where to position things. And just like this grid, Merkel disks contribute to position sense through their afferent signals. These sensory signals are important for proprioception, which is the awareness of our body and where it is in space. Being aware of the position is one of the first things we covered in class, so I've definitely got a good grip on this now. Next, let's check out the object of my drawing. Yep, it's a model. He's been standing still this entire time. We almost forgot about him. Yeah, this guy is not moving at all. Just like how models have to be still when they're being drawn, Merkel disks are great at sensing non-moving or static stimuli. This is because Merkel disks adapt slowly. Functionally, the slow adaptation of these Merkel disks means that they keep sensing a stimulus even after it stops moving. Action potentials are sent out as long as the stimulus remains. You can just picture me drawing the static or non-moving model to remember how Merkel disks adapt slowly. Well, that's it for Merkel disks. Hope the pressure wasn't too much for you. Let's do a quick summary so we can close out this class and go home. Merkel disks are a type of sensory receptors located in the fingertips and superficial skin layers. When perturbed, these disks release vesicles filled with neurotransmitters, which then potentiate action potentials. Merkel disks are responsible for the sensation of pressure, the detection of shapes and edges, and also contribute to position sense. In addition, Merkel disks adapt slowly, which means that they can sense a static or non-moving stimulus. All right, can you stop looking over my shoulder? If you want to draw with markers, you should go get your own. I've got to get back to drawing other things for med school, like the brachial plexus or something. See you next time.